RC drifting. It's a new big thing in the UK at the moment and kind of worldwide with the drifting. Quite a few people want to get into it. It's kind of widespread at the moment. And these are kind of some tips and stuff you want to look out for when you. Oh my god, I was doing so well.
He was doing so well, so I'll take over. So we're basically putting a video together just to help anyone that's thinking of getting into drifting, and just to give them just a bit of an insight what it's all about, really. A little bit about the cars, the sort of equipment you use, where you can do it, some rough idea on costs. You've always got the option, you can get second hand. If you go to a club, you can get talking to people. A lot of time people have other cars that they sell. It's always worthwhile, before you spend any money, go along to your local drift club and just go and have a look, see what it's all about. We could actually do a shout out to, go on then, I'll let you do the shout outs.
So, local in Hampshire, we've got Scale Drift, which is based in Bracknell, Basingstoke Drift Club, which is in Basingstoke. We've got Drift Essex, which is, you couldn't guess, is in Essex.
Do you have to give a shout out to anyone in particular?
Oh yeah, shout out to Dale, who runs Asbo RC. I actually won this car in a raffle. I don't know, I'll go into more into that in a minute, but yeah, shout out to Dale. Big shout out to Nathan and Josh and James, you know, all the main people, but yeah.
Alright, shall we go into what's the difference between a normal motor control car and what makes a drift car so special?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll let Ollie talk about this car. Mainly, he's going to just talk about the difference between a normal RC car and a drift car, and then he's probably going to go into a little bit of detail about this actual chassis, because it's quite a special chassis on this one. So over to you.
Okay, so with the RC drift car, the first thing you notice is you don't have traditional body pins. I don't know if you can see, but there's little magnets in there, but see it just on the end there. Reason for the magnets, it gives a more realistic look towards the car, and with a drifting you kind of, it doesn't matter as much with the body posts or not, so people just run the magnets. It's more convenient, it's easier, but that's about it. Body shells as well, people tend to go for cars like that have body kits on them, kind of the main big thing.
Almost like sort of Japanese drift cars, really, but there are European cars as well. People use BMWs, and I mean, to be honest with you, you can have any body shell you want, really. I've even seen a Ford Transit van drifting. In actual fact, my assistant has just brought over, we've got like a super body shell. There's literally, if you can think of a car, there will actually be a body shell that you can run. But to be honest with you, it's not the body shell that makes the drift car, it's what's underneath. So they have a very special chassis to allow the cars to drift and actually keep the angles. There's quite a few things that are different. So what he's just going to show you, an example, like the steering angle these cars can get is crazy.
Well, kind of on your normal RC car, like your Italians and that stuff, that's your kind of your normal steering angle you get, about that. Whereas in the drift cars you get about that. This car hasn't actually got much set up at the moment. I say set up because I don't know how well you can see, but everything's adjustable in this car. Like, I can move the bulkhead forwards and backwards, adjust all the shocks, adjust all the tracking on the car. You actually get more than what you do on a real car, so it's quite in depth and it's quite interesting learning about it, and it takes a lot of skill to set one up properly. I haven't been blessed with this skill, sadly, so I can't set this car up how I want it at the moment, but
it's fun learning though, isn't it? So even if you don't know much about cars, if you go along to a drift club, there's plenty of people out there which will actually help you set up the car, especially if you go there and they can see you're struggling. Generally people will be quite open to help get the car set up. Do you want to just run through some of the other differences by the drift car? So basically they've got a lot more steering lock, so when the car's going sideways, you can keep it sideways and it doesn't spin out, so you've got a lot more control when the car's at an angle.
One thing I'm going to show is that you can't actually see is is, I don't know, I've got the remote here, I don't know if you can see the steering trying to correct itself. Yeah, I'll turn that off.
So, what makes the steering do that then?
Steering do that. They've got gyros on the cars. This one is really hidden away, but you want them preferably on the bottom deck of the car when you set one up, because if you have it on the top, well, obviously drifting the car, the L chassis is rolling like that, and that's enough to kind of affect the gyro. And obviously where it's the top, it's moving more, so the gyro isn't as kind of locked in as what it could be when you have it on the bottom. That's just something to look out for. What else?
What about the layout of the car? So, in a lot of the main drift clubs, the cars will actually be all rear-wheel drive.
Yeah.
It's very rare to have a four-wheel drive drift car, and if you turn up at a normal UK drift club, generally the cars will be rear-wheel drive. Also, as you notice, the tyres are a lot different, like to what you'd have on your conventional RC car. They're actually like a hard plastic, so they've literally got no grip, which makes the cars drift at a very slow speed. With drifting, it's all about. It's not about who's the quickest or which cars gets around the corner the fastest, anything like that. It's all about who can drift the most precisely, and there's lots of things they look out for when you're actually doing a competition. So what sort of things do they score you on them?
So they score you on angle is quite the main one. So if you have clipping points, and you also get judged on how far you are in the clipping points. So you might see, like in real drifting, people riding the wall, so whether it be drifting, the back end will be almost touching the wall. If you've got a car and you can drive that well, where you can do a whole circuit around the track and have the car, like the back and the front of the car, kind of right up against the wall, like the front of the car at certain clipping points. But if you can kind of keep to that line, it's quite well marked. Speed's another one. I know you just said.
Yeah, I say it's not a race, but if you can go faster at an angle, it's better than going slower at an angle, isn't it?
Yeah, reason for this being is with drifting, you've got a lead and a chase car. The lead car job is to follow the circuit layout, so that's all the clipping points, just clipping points. If you can follow the clipping points well and keep to the angles that they kind of recommend, that's marked on well. But the lead car's job is to try and keep away from the chase car while putting a good line. This car struggles at the moment where I'm still setting it up. It's not very quick, so I'll be trying to get away from someone while I'm leading, and they'll just keep up with me. Right, a bit more on the chase car. The chase car their whole idea is to follow the line that the lead car's setting, apart from with a better proximity. So kind of with racing, you're trying to get past another person. What you're aiming for really is when you're chasing, you want to have your wheel kind of on their door. Well, don't know where my shell's gone, but it's on the door.
Down here.
Yeah. So
basically, the closer you can get to the lead car, the better, basically. So you almost want to be. You don't want to be making contact, but you almost want to be. Not quite exchanging paint, but you want to be pretty close to them. If you watch, in actual fact, some of the real drift car competitions, like the full-size stuff, the radio-controlled competitions are identical. The way they're scored, the way the cars go around the track. So there's plenty of drift videos out there to watch, just to get an idea. So it's normally two cars that battle it out. On a normal day at an RC drift club, like what they'd call a practice day, literally there'd be lots of cars out on at the track, and you just literally spend most of the time just going out, having fun, drifting, making adjustments to your car, and then every now and then they'll have a competition night, and that's when all the hard work and practice will pay off, hopefully. If you've made progress, you can sort of test it out for real and see how you get on. But I think if anyone wants to get into into hobby. So we'll start to wrap this video up a bit so we don't go on for too long. So anyone that's thinking about getting into drifting, I would say definitely do your research, and I would definitely go to a local club first, because you don't really want to go out and spend money and buy a car that you can't actually use at a drift club. That's why it's really important to know what cars people are running. Everyone's got their own recommendations and favourites, so I would use your own preference, because a lot of it can come down to money as well, how much you are prepared to spend on a hobby, especially if it's a new hobby. You don't want to spend like hundreds and hundreds of pounds to find out that you don't like it. So yeah, go along to your local drift club, give it a go. Most drift clubs sometimes have hire cars, or sometimes people are willing to let you have a go. So that's a good way just to see what it's all about. Yeah, give it a go. If anyone's got any sort of questions or queries, feel free to put it in the comments, and we'll try and respond. All right, that's enough from me. What about you? Have you got anything you want to add?
Yeah, if you like the hobby and you've been to your club a few times, everyone will tell you different things. Everyone's got different preferences. It's quite hard to get kind of stuck between things. Whereas someone will tell you to do this, another person will recommend to do that. What you want to do is RC Pace. They've got a shop and they've got a YouTube channel. They do like podcasts. They do it really well. But they go into little bits about setup and kind of just generally what's about the hobby kind of at the moment. But yeah, always worth checking them out. And yeah, if you're looking at buying, there's a few shops I recommend. All online. You've got RC Kit Out. They're really good. They have loads of different stuff, and you'll find whatever on there. Asbo RC, who does a weekly raffle on his Facebook page.
That's where you won this chassis, so that's quite handy.
Yeah, Asbo. What one? You've got RC Pace. I said that one.
Yeah. There's a few. I think depending where you live, even if you live in a different country from the UK, just literally have a Google, find out where people are doing it, and get involved. Especially now we're coming up to winter time, it's a great time to start the hobby, because most of the drift tracks are inside. So on the dark evenings, rather than being bored watching telly, go out, do some socialising, have some fun with some like-minded friends. And yeah, good luck. Anyone thinking of getting into it?
Yeah.
Okay. That's it.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks.
What's that?